Hey Gemini, this reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising in Love. We're going to take a look at December 1st through December 15th. Gems, you guys know that I've had quite a lot going on in my end with some family stuff the last couple of weeks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get through our love readings for all of the signs. I am probably going to post more of a collective general reading as well. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to start with love for you all first. So we're going to take a look at love December 1st through the 15th for Gemini. Gemini and love. Gems, if you guys would like to be considered for a free healing session this month, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. Gemini and love, December 1st through the 15th. Ooh, I already have some cards trying to pop. A little too early here. We need another shuffle. Okay, Gemini, I'm picking up that Mercury retrograde was particularly difficult. As we come into December, we're moving past the Mercury retrograde. Okay, Mercury is direct. We're coming out of that shadow period. There is change and something is shifting. But for those of you who had a particularly difficult Mercury retrograde that felt kind of endless, I'm one of those Geminis, okay? So I feel your pain with it. But here's the blessing, Gems. Some people, whether that was Gemini or Gemini's partner or a loved one, didn't know that something was wrong, didn't know that something needed to heal. What Mercury did, it slowed us all down. And it exposed wounds, it exposed illnesses, it exposed, I'm channeling energetic diseases, okay? So different kinds of cross conditions. So that's the blessing of Mercury retrograde, even if it felt really difficult to get through. In December, we feel this energy shift for the positive because now we know how to heal. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of healing for Gemini, especially Gemini in love over the next couple of weeks. I do anticipate this healing will extend throughout the month of December. I'm also picking up on some separations, Gems, but it feels like separations that allow people to heal, separations that allow partnerships to heal. Sometimes we need to take a step back from someone that we love, so we gain a new perspective. For many of you, that happened during the retrograde already, and so now you're stepping into the healing process, okay? So there's a lot of healing here. There's a shift for the positive, toward the positive, bringing more positive energy in. I'm hearing nourishing. So universe is saying there's a nourishing energy now. Okay, so you will be refueled at this time. And this message is particularly strong for those of you who really struggled through the Mercury retrograde. Okay, so let's get more clarity. Gemini in love, December 1st through December 15th. Gemini in love. You know, it's interesting. I speak to so many of you Gems privately, but even here, even in the comments for sure, it's an interesting way to sort of close out the year with so many drastic things sort of happening all at once. First card out, we have healing. Okay, we are stepping into a phase of healing. I really feel like it's a month of healing. I think this is going to last for more than just 2 weeks. Some of you may feel a little bit shocked by what's come up. And I do think for many of you, it's not necessarily just limited to love and romance. I think a lot of what was exposed, wounds and illnesses and struggles, I'm hearing crack in the foundation, it could apply to other family members. It could apply to other people that you love, but people that you're very close to. So this is definitely within the family, okay, if not directly relating to your significant other. But this is impacting your significant other regardless. This is impacting your love life because there's a lot of energy going somewhere. For those of you who are feeling shocked, like really, there were so many blessings in 2019, but wow, these difficulties are almost a little too much to handle. Recognize that we're ending a decade and universe wants you to go into 2020 with a clean slate, okay? So as we step into December, it's incredibly important to, one, honor this, to not feel victimized by difficulties that came up. There could be a lot of grief involved in what needs to heal, but keep your thoughts, keep your energy, keep your affirmations in alignment with positivity, in alignment with miracles. I'm feeling like some of you need to experience a miracle, and you wouldn't be able to experience a miracle if there weren't some sort of major issue going on. For some of you, it's diseases and people that you love. Universe wants to show you how powerful miracles are. You just have to ask. So there's all sorts of healing. Do expect this to be a time that you need to heal. If you're grieving somebody, if you're grieving some difficult loss, grieving a family member, it's time to take a time out. And that could be the separation energy that I'm picking up here too, because it's not a separation as though it's necessarily a major end in love. For some of you it could be, but I feel like that ending would have already happened, especially in November, because we had such a difficult time with the retrograde. But it feels like a separation to heal. So there's some sort of separation. You're either stepping back from dating so that you can heal. You're stepping back from dating so that you can focus on helping a family member heal. You're stepping back from a romantic partner so that you can do some internal work, the inner child healing that is necessary at this time. Center of the reading, we have soulmate. It does feel like you're still deeply connected to somebody though, gems. If you separate from a soulmate, or if you have in November, it feels like you guys are actually healing something. It's not a separation that will manifest into a full-blown ending or a divorce. It feels like someone needed to be pushed to the edge of an issue to open their eyes. And now the space is inevitable, or was inevitable last month. But it's in that space where it's either you or a partner can gain a new perspective, a healthier perspective, appreciate each other more. Really tackle something head on, okay? So there's healing for those of you who already have the significant other and the soulmate partner. Yeah, we're getting another spiritual connection, religious, but I'm getting this as connected to the soulmate. There's somebody you're very close to that you're healing something with at this time. The next 2 weeks for sure, but understand the energy is going to shift for the positive. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This retrograde was difficult for so many people. It's important that we focus on the blessings of it too, but it's okay to recognize like, wow, that almost took me down. Wow, that was a little too much to handle. If that's the case, take time for you to refuel, okay? But once you get past all of this healing, or once you're really in that divine flow and you start to feel better, especially for those of you who are single, this is what healing is clarified with, okay? I do think some of you are stepping away from dating, stepping away from being flirtatious and trying to call a new partner in because you have to heal. But this does feel like this is happening in stages. You're focusing on that healing. You start feeling better now with this energy shift in December, and you get back out there. You're flirting with somebody new. You're flirting with a significant other. You're calling them back in. For those of you dealing with a physical separation with the partner, it feels like you guys are going to get back to this flirtatious space. It will probably be initiated by you, Gemini. I'm definitely getting that through this. But this flirtation rekindles something. It inspires a partner to continue to heal instead of walk away, okay? You may have that experience. You're having more fun with a partner, and so now it's more worth your while to keep working on something that you thought you may have come to the end of the road with, okay? I do feel like you may be dealing with some partners. Now, this could be soulmate friends. This doesn't just apply to romantic partners, but it feels like some soulmates don't know how to handle Gemini when Gemini's struggling, okay? Because it does feel like, I mean, Gemini, you know, people are going to reach out to you if they're going through a hard time. You're going to be able to sift through whatever it is and communicate something in a way none of their other friends or other family members could communicate to start the process of healing for their people. People rely on Geminis all the time for this. And to make sense of a situation. I'm not surprised. Okay, we're going to get to this in a second. This next card that popped. It feels like when it's you, Gemini, when you're down, when you're struggling, when you're grieving, there are people around you, they're like, where's that fun Gemini? How come Gemini can't show up and like fix something for me today? How come Gemini's not communicating with me? Like, where's that energy? Where's Gemini's energy? Don't be surprised if some partners are struggling with that, and this is probably why, center of the reading, we have soulmate, but we are clarifying that with codependence. If you're dealing with a codependent partner, they probably don't know how to support you, because that's just not the dynamic of the relationship, okay? That may be what is exposed, or what was exposed in November. You know, hey, so I need a supportive partner too. You know, Gemini's going through difficult situations with family, maybe finding like, wait a minute, this person, this romantic partner, this best friend, like, why can't they show up for me when I'm grieving something, and all of a sudden it spotlights this codependence, and all of a sudden this could be the disease that is being exposed. It doesn't have to be physical, right? This emotional, this mental, the spiritual attachment to you, Gemini, and you may have pumped the brakes. You're like, if you can't be healthy for me, if you can't show the same kind of support that I give you, you either need to step out of the picture, I need to step out of the picture for a little bit. It does feel like you can't afford to be drained anymore, Gems. And the reality is none of us can afford to be drained, but we will be sometimes. If you're a healer, and I know many of you are, you're going to attract people to you who need your energy. They need your time. They need your wisdom. They need your spiritual gifts. They need your ability to communicate, to make sense of their own thoughts, to make sense of their own situations. If somebody's being codependent at this time, you're going to take steps away from them. But the beauty here, Gemini, that I just keep channeling is that if you separate from somebody at this time, it allows you both to heal. It allows for healing. There's a connection between separating, and it could just be Gemini separating so that Gems have time to themselves, right? But it does feel like it heals two people, not just you. Yeah. So again, we come back to spiritual, religious factors. This comes through spiritual. This comes through as an extension of that soulmate relationship and that soulmate connection. Clarify the heart-to-heart conversations. It does feel like you get back here. If there's a separation, you get back to communicating. It does feel like something will be rekindled at this time if you want to rekindle something with a partner. But you also may be communicating with the partner like, you're codependent and I can't do this right now. We either heal, we either talk through this, we work through this consciously, or I'm going to step away from this completely, okay? Because you probably have a lot going on, Gemini, and it's probably not just your love life. You may not be able to prioritize your love life over the next couple of weeks unless it pertains to conscious healing, okay? But that's a beautiful thing. And you're going to feel relief. The beginning of December, and honestly, from what I'm picking up in December so far for you, December is going to be a lot easier than November was, as long as you're conscious of what's going on. And I think that you are. You may have partners who aren't. You may have friends that have absolutely no idea that they're being codependent and draining you, or family, close family could be draining you, Gemini. And they may not be able to handle the fact that you need time to yourself. You may be getting the guilt trip of like, why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you making time for me? Why, Gemini? Why are you taking space to yourself? You don't have to justify that. This comes through seriously strong. I mean, this is a clarifier for the center of the reading message. It's a connection to somebody you have a serious soulmate connection with, and it could be a romantic partner. I think for many of you, it is a romantic partner, but it also comes through, I was channeling before, like a soulmate friend. The soulmate friend who doesn't understand that they need to support you too. They just want to reach out when they have issues. That's not going to work for you anymore, Gemini. And what's positive about that, for those kinds of relationships where that doesn't resolve, or the energy doesn't shift, you're just going to let people like that go. End of the decade knowing that you are deserving of people who can meet you where you're at, who can give back what you give to them. There's no more settling. And that's something Gemini's gotten really good at. That's something Gemini's been very conscious of, receiving the kind of love that they give. So stay on track with that, okay? Even if you are coming out of a really difficult couple of weeks. Crowning the reading is this, is passion. I really think you guys are getting your passion back with a soulmate. You're getting your passion back in love. You may be stepping away from codependent energy so you can call in a soulmate that you're more passionate about, who doesn't drain you. But it does feel like this is a rekindling. The biggest message that comes through this crowning the reading is a rekindling of a relationship that you had to step away from so that you could heal, so that you both could heal. Okay, but there's healing here. The energy shifts for the better. That also comes through this passion for life too. That comes through hands in hand with this flirtation energy. So for many of you, it's not just all about healing for the next 2 weeks. For many of you, you've already been doing a ton of healing because the Mercury retrograde forced you into that space to heal things, because you got this clarity, maybe an abundance of clarity of what needed to heal. And now it's almost like you get to reap the rewards. You get that life back. You're more connected to that life force energy. It's channeling through you. Bottom of the deck here, we have commitment. I really think for many of you, you're recommitting to a partner. You're rekindling with a partner. It may just have been travel for work, okay? It could have been you're just out with friends more. You're not spending, 24/7 with your romantic partner. But it does feel like after some sort of a separation, someone's coming back together. Something gets rekindled because you've had the courage to heal, because you listened during Mercury retrograde, because even in times you didn't want to listen, you're sort of forced into it. It's all for the good, okay? Gemini, if you feel like you need more clarity than this, reach out to me. I will be available for private readings this month, for private readings, for energy healing sessions, which you guys know that I specialize in. I'm going to do my best with all of you to maintain getting videos out, even if I have to make some changes right now, because I am dealing with something very serious on the family front right now with a very sick family member. I thought we had kind of like bypassed that at this point, but unfortunately, that's we're dealing with that continuously, and I think I will be for quite some time. So please be patient with me. I know I've been good about Gemini videos, but for some of you who are watching other signs too, I haven't been able to get all videos out that I've needed to. So I just want to thank you all for your love and your support and your patience with me. Okay, I'm going to do my best for all of you. I should be back mid-month for your mid-month love reading. We'll take a look at the second half of the month then. I'm going to try, once I get all of your love readings done for the beginning of the month, I'm going to try to get some general readings out there too for you guys, so we can take a look at just the general overview, career, health, etc. Okay? I will do my best, but I love you all so much. Make sure you connect with me, Instagram at UrbanSoulGuru. I will see you guys back here as soon as I can. All right? Love you, gems. Ciao.